It's November, the holiday season's upon us. I'm going to help you guys decide what video games that you should be purchasing in just a minute. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Gotians Games. Today is November 3rd, and it being the beginning of November, we are marking in the beginning of the holiday season. And usually during the holiday season, we tend to get the better releases of games, so to speak. There's two seasons where games really thrive, and a lot of companies, they hold off on releasing their best releases for these two seasons. The first season being winter time, because obviously we have, Christmas, Hanukkah, basically the gift giving season. So a bunch of kids are gonna be like, Mom, Dad, I want this. So we're coming into the holiday season. The other season would be summertime. Kids are out of school, so then they release the other games around summertime. A bunch of notable games that come out around this time of the year usually have been, like, for Nintendo, for example, Legend of Zelda. For Sony in the past, Final Fantasy, Super Mario for Nintendo as well. You would have like your biggest Sonic games come out around this time as well. Those are like notable games or notable titles. With that being said, we're going to go into it for November, because next month I will do a December one as well. So we're going to go into Gotian's buying guide for November. What should you look for? What games are coming out? And, basically, where do you want to spend your money? So with that being said, we're going to start off with PlayStation, because me being a PlayStation man myself, this is, most interested for me as far as like priorities go. So we'll go ahead and we'll start off in PlayStation. So first thing to note is we have a new Sonic game coming out on the 7th. So actually next week. It's called Sonic Forces. This one actually comes out. It's multi-platform, so it'll come out on PS4, the Xbox One, and I believe it's going to be on the Switch. I can't guarantee it's going to. If it is going to be on the Switch, I can't guarantee it's going to be at the same release date, because Switch games tend to release later. So there's that. That's the first one. We have a Need for Speed coming out. Honestly, I haven't played Need for Speed since Need for Speed Underground. I actually enjoyed Underground, but as far as the rest of the Need for Speed games, they're kind of lackluster. So that's up to you if you guys enjoy those type of games or not. Next notable game. Now, excuse me, I have a bit of a cold, so I sound congested, because I am. Next game for me, this is a big one. It's Star Wars Battlefront 2. If you guys had played the first one, the first one kind of sucked. There was no story mode. The maps were pretty much generic. It was so hyped up, but when it got released, it was just so lackluster. Star Wars Battlefront 2 is supposed to fix all those issues. Pre-release, it's gotten pretty good reviews. People playing the demos, betas, or whatever. They're very excited for the game. It has a campaign mode, which people have been wanting since the original Battlefront 2 back on the PS2. So we see the return of the campaign mode in this. It's supposed to have a lot more maps, and just a better enjoyable experience for the consumer, which is awesome. That's going to be coming out in 3 editions. You have your basic edition, your deluxe edition, and then your deluxe figure bundle. So if you want to dish out the money for that. For those of you Sim players, because I know some people play The Sims, we have a new expansion for Sims 4 getting released as well. I believe it's next week. On top of Battlefront 2 being released, which is Battlefront 2 is being released on the 14th. For those of you who don't have a PS4 yet, you can buy a Battlefront 2 edition PS4, which was basically the same thing they did with Battlefront 1. They released a PS4 with Battlefront, and yeah, so you could buy it like that. Next game, this one is coming from NIS America. It's Demon Gaze 2. Now, personally, I'm a big NIS America fan. I actually used to sell their games, and they're a very big JRPG company. They bring a lot of the games from Japan that we normally wouldn't get. They bring them over and they localize them. They go ahead and they do all the translating in house. They do the vocal work in house and all that stuff. So Demon Gaze 2 originally the first one came out on the PlayStation Vita. I believe part 2 is going to be available both on the Vita and the PS4, so you can pick that up as well. It's not a bad game, so yeah. Let's see here. We also have LA Noire. So I don't know if you guys remember LA Noire. LA Noire was a game that came out on the PS3 and the Xbox 360. This is an HD remaster of a very good game. So if you guys have not played that in the past, you could pick it up now. Again, it's a very good game. I definitely recommend it. Let's see here. For those of you PlayStation VR players, we have Elder Scrolls 5 being released. Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim being released on the PlayStation VR. So there is that. Personally, I'm not a big VR fan. Let's see here. We have something that got actually released today. Today's the 3rd. It got released this week. We have basically the remaster of .hack GU, all 3 games. It's actually the .hack GU collection. So it's been remastered on the PS4. Now, when I say remastered, it's not just an HD remaster. They actually went ahead and they revamped the battle system. They redid the graphics, and they added more story elements to the gameplay. So they went ahead and added a 4th chapter to it. So if you guys ever played the original ones, each game was a chapter. So you had GU 1, 2, and 3. So now they added a GU4, which takes place obviously after the 3rd game. So it's a continuation of the game on top of that. So I'm very excited. I'm actually gonna pick that up. Probably when I go get my daughter today, and yeah, so I'm excited to play that. Another thing that got released this week as well is Call of Duty World War II. I know a lot of people were excited about that. I'm not big on first-person shooters, but I know a lot of people are. So if you are, more power to you. So now we're gonna go into a little bit on I don't really like doing this because I want to save it for next month, but because it's gonna be released on December 1st, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Doom VR is gonna be released. So if you guys are big VR fans, Doom, I love the Doom series. Again, I'm not big on first-person shooters, but there are exceptions to the rule for me. Doom is one of those games. I grew up playing Doom on freaking Windows 95. So Doom is always had a kind of like a special place in my heart. All right, so now we're going to go into Xbox for you Xbox fans. I didn't organize this by release date. This is like my first semi-scripted video. You guys know I don't really I don't script my videos out. So yeah, it's first time I'm actually ever doing this. I have it scripted on my tablet here. Alright, so I did mention Sonic Forces being released, so I'm not gonna really go into that. A lot of these games are kind of like crossover games. So, or when I say crossover games, like cross-console games. So, Need for Speed, Star Wars Battlefront. All those games are available on the PS4 and the I keep saying 360 and the Xbox One. So there's that. Let's see here. For you guys who like the Lego, the Lego series, Lego Marvel Superheroes 2 is being released on the 14th of this month. We have BioShock 10th Anniversary Edition. BioShock, I love that game. That's a freaking awesome game. But that's 10th Anniversary Edition, so it's a big collector's edition. It's $200. I don't know if you guys want to shell out that kind of money. $200 for that. It comes out on the 14th as well. Let's keep it going here. Now here's the thing, like Xbox, like there's not a lot of how do you say it? There's not a lot of Xbox exclusives. So, I'm kind of like mixing it up here. Resident Evil 7, the Gold Edition. So let me explain something really quick for Resident Evil 7 Gold Edition. Resident Evil 7 got released earlier this year. And so with that being said, there was a DLC after you beat the game. There was a DLC that was supposed to come back in spring, and it got pushed back. It got delayed. They weren't happy with it, and so now the DLC is finally going to be released on December 12th. It's a free DLC. On top of the free DLC, they're actually releasing another DLC to expand upon the story as well. So on the 12th, we have those two DLCs dropping. So if you bought the season pass, you're going to get that DLC. Plus, we have the free DLC, which is the Not a Hero DLC that we've been waiting for. Resident Evil 7 Gold Edition is going to be available both on Xbox One and the PS4. The Gold Edition will have all the DLC in it. It's like as if you're buying the season pass. So there's that. That's $50. So it's not too bad. It's actually, pretty worth it because the game, Resident Evil 7 is probably one of the better Resident Evils to actually have been released in quite some time. Alright, so that's going to be it for Xbox. Like I said, there's a lot of crossover stuff. Xbox doesn't have too many exclusives, which it should, but it doesn't. Okay, so next, we're going to go into Nintendo Switch. So yes, Sonic Forces is going to be released on Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Switch is getting Doom, which is going to come out on the 10th. Now, again, it's kind of a perfect platform for Doom, to be honest, because the way the controls are on the Switch, it feels good to use a first-person shooter in that game, or in that system. I'm sorry. The only thing is, the Doom that's getting released, we've already had it. It's the original Doom, which got released on Windows 95, and then it got remade for the Nintendo 64 and branded as Doom 64. So this is the same Doom that we're getting, just with better graphics. Which, nothing wrong with that, but still, like, it's $60. I don't know if I want to pay $60 for a game that I've already played through twice. So that's my logic. We got the Batman Telltale series coming on the 14th. So those of you guys who own a Switch but have not played the Batman game and you want to play it, now you're going to be able to on the 14th. So that's $40 if you want to buy that. LA Noire is coming out as well on the Switch. That's going to be $50. And then Skyrim, because I know that people were excited about this. Skyrim is coming out for Nintendo Switch. That's going to be $60. Comes out on the 17th. So you guys, if you guys want to pick that up, because I know a lot of people wanted to. So it's not a lot of big games getting released in November for the Switch. So again, I didn't really want to go into this, but because it's December 1st, I'm gonna say it here because my next video might come out after December 1st. So this is a really big release. The next one that I'm going to talk about right here, Xenoblade Chronicles 2. It's a huge release. The first game was fantastic. Then you had Xenoblade Chronicles X on the Wii U, which is an awesome game. It's an open sandbox style game. It feels like an MMO, but it's not an MMO. It hooks you in. If you guys never played Xenoblade Chronicles, this game it just brings you in, and once you start playing, all of a sudden you look at the time and holy crap, you've been playing for 8 hours. So, and on top of that, in the 8 hours, you've only maybe done about 10% of the story, if you're lucky, because the game is so massive. Think of it like you're playing Fallout, except more interesting, and the quests just take you everywhere, and you're like, holy crap, I barely touched the story. So, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, very excited about that game. It comes out in 2 editions. You got your basic edition, which is $60, and then you got your special edition, which is $100. So, like I said, not a lot of releases on the Switch. We also had Mario Odyssey, I believe, got released recently, so that's exciting if you guys haven't picked that up yet. So now let's go into the 3DS. Okay, so we're going to talk about the 3DS. Those of you Pokemon fans, Pokemon's Ultra Moon and Ultra Sun are both getting released on the 17th for $40 each. So if you want to pick that up, be my guest. Myself, I'm retired on Pokemon. Like I'm done with it. And honestly, like, don't get me wrong, I still love the Pokemon series. I always will. I've been playing it since it first got released in Red and Blue. So I'm an old school player. I'm tired of it. I've had enough. That's just me, man. That's just me. All right. So next, actually, that's gonna be it. That's the only big release that we have for the 3DS, which is perfectly acceptable because the 3DS actually has quite a bit of releases after the new year. So you know, it makes sense because Nintendo, they're not going to want to saturate. They're not going to want to oversaturate themselves. So so that's, you know, that's that. So that's going to be it for me today, as far as, you know, the buyer's guide, Gotians buyer's guide. So go out there, you know, save up some money. If you guys don't want to, you know, if you guys are like, hey, you know, you missed these games or you missed that, I'm sorry, I'm not going to read every single game out. It's going to be like a freaking hour-long video. But anyways, guys, let me know what games you guys are excited for. You know, I will still do my recommended games on another video, like probably in the middle of the week or middle of the month, something like that. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching the video today. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe if you guys are new, and let me know if you guys want me to keep doing like the buyer's guide, stuff like that, help you guys out. And you know, I know that the recommended games tends to help you guys out, but the buyer's guide might help you out as well. So you know, I'll do more of that if you guys want me to. So anyways, I will catch you all later. You guys have a great rest of your day, night, whatever time zone you're at. Oh man, I really said date night today because I'm so congested, man. It's just driving me crazy. Anyways, peace out, guys.